Hello everyone and welcome to Thoughts and Review for Pay-Per-View. I am Slim and this time we are reviewing Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill. Overall, really good match. Show. Really good show. Had a lot of really good matches, especially the main event. Right, it's just finished too, so yeah. Let's get right into it with the pre-show match, which was Brian Myers, formerly known as Kurt Hawkins, versus Josh Alexander. It was a pretty good match. Brian Myers won. Um, yeah. I should also mention, me and Joe had three different in the predictions, and I got all the predictions right. So yeah. But yeah, so Brian Myers beat Josh Alexander. That was cool. Whatever. Good match. I always thought that Brian Myers was going to win. So yeah. Then we kicked off the main show with Decay, Rosemary and Crazy Steve versus Tennille Dashwood and Caleb Decay, and Decay won. Another pretty good match. Yeah, I again picked them obviously, so I was quite happy with that. Um, I'll also point out the matches that me and Joe are different, since it was just the two of us. We then got the old school rules match, which was Eric Young, Dina, and Joe Doring versus Cousin Jake, Rhino, and Tommy Dreamer. Eric Young's team won. It was actually a pretty good match as well. Um, Rhino and Tommy Dreamer proved they still are good to watch. Yeah, I personally thought that Eric Young was going to win because it's Eric Young. They should just be pushing him. And obviously they did. And yeah, no, it was really good. Um, yeah. We then got to the first of the matches that me and Joe are different, which is the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. Um, Fire and Flavor, which is Kira Hogan and Tasha Steeles, versus Havoc and Nevaeh. Fire and Flavor won. Obviously, I had them. Um, this was actually better than what I thought it was going to be. Hogan and Steeles I've seen a couple of times. A handful of times, and it hasn't been tag team stuff. So I didn't know exactly how well they were, well how good they were. And Havoc and Nevaeh, I've seen Havoc a few times. Nevaeh again, I've only seen a handful of times, not tag team stuff. I don't really like Havoc, but no, it was a good match. So yeah. And I picked Fire and Flavor because I thought they should win, and they did. So that was cool. Post match, Gail Kim and Madison Rain handed the belts to Fire and Flavor. So yeah, we then had Ace Austin and Madman Fulton come down. And Austin was there saying he wants to be added to the X Division title match. Scott D'Amore came out and said no, but you got to have a match. You got to have a match right now, matter of fact, against surprise, Matt Cardona, formerly Zack Ryder. Um, yeah, no, it was a short match. Obviously, we didn't know what was happening, so we didn't do predictions for it. As soon as Cardona came out, I went, well, he's winning. But yeah, and obviously, Cardona won. Um, it was, yeah, very short because Fulton decided, I'm just going to attack him. So Austin lost by DQ. Um, but yeah, no, it was cool seeing Matt Cardona. It was, yeah, as soon as his music hit, I went, holy shit, that's Matt Cardona. And I should also mention they've got a brand new commentary team. It's Matt Striker and D'Lo Brown. Matt Striker did his whole Diesel coming in the 2011 Royal Rumble thing, where it was like, holy I'm marking out, bro. He did all that. I think that's exactly the words that he used. Um, but yeah, so Matt Cardona won. That's all cool. Then we got the X Division title match, which was Manic versus Chris Bay versus Rohit Raju, and Manic won. Really good match. Not quite match of the night, but second best. Match of the night goes to the main event. When we get to that, I will talk about it. But yeah, no, it was really, really, really good. Manic won. Rohit took the mask off of Manic, and TJP had painted his face, so you couldn't actually see that it was TJP. So yeah, it was just yeah, and the action was amazing. It was awesome. Um, a few times I thought Chris Bay could have won. Rohit at one stage I thought he could have won, but Chris Bay at a few stages, especially when it would be Rohit versus Manic, and Bay was sort of on the outside a few times. I went, oh, maybe, but no, he wound up not winning, and Manic did. Joe had picked Chris Bay for that one too, so I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, so that happened. Then we got the Impact Knockouts Championship match between Taya Valkyrie and Deonna Purrazzo. Before we got to this match, Rosemary and Crazy Steve showed up and said that they're going to help Taya Valkyrie by being out there to get rid of Kimberly and Susan. Um, and that's what they did, pretty much. They all just sort of started fighting, and in the end, they all got sent to the back. So then it became one on one, and Deonna Purrazzo is just really, really good. And ended up winning. Taya Valkyrie, she was also pretty good, but I do think that Deonna was. She just flowed better, I think. Um, I do think that this match should have probably gotten a bit more time, just because it feels kind of short. Just thinking about it now, it's like it's sort of short. If they had a little bit more time, they might have been able to make it a lot better. But doesn't matter. Deonna Purrazzo won. We then got Ethan Page versus the Karate Man, and it was a very badly done, on purpose cinematic match where they would throw punches at each other and sell them, but nothing was actually in sync or anything. Like, they would throw a kick that would completely miss because obviously he's fighting himself. Um, and yeah, it'd be just shit like that. In the end, though, the Karate Man won by ripping Ethan Page's heart out, then walked away with it. They did keep this one really short, though, which they definitely should have. Um, 50-50, I saw, because I was watching a fight, I saw in the chat, like, everybody's there. Half of them are there going, that was shit. Half of them was going, that was great. I am not sure at the moment. I'm leaning towards it was shit. Um, just because I think it could have been done better, but also it's a dude fighting himself. Um, yeah, so this was a very 50-50 thing. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they go from here. Um, but yeah. We then got the barbed wire massacre match between Eddie Edwards and Sammy Callahan. Really good match here as well. Um, Edwards won, and it was brutal. Not as brutal as some things, but yeah. Um, yeah, it was. There was a lot of. Obviously, there was a lot of barbed wire stuff. But yeah, like it was very much just sort of barbed wire to the face that you always see and shit like that. Um, it was a cool spot. Well, it wasn't even a spot really. Um, they had weapons hung up on a chain that went from post to post. Um, and not only did Eddie Edwards get like hung up on it, But before that, they had both sort of crawled to a weapon that was there, and Edwards got the baseball bat covered in barbed wire. Callahan got the kendo stick covered in barbed wire, and so they both walked over to each other and swapped weapons so that they had their preferred weapon. That was cool, and it was like, right, they don't want to do this half-ass. They want to beat the shit out of each other. So, yeah, no, and in the end, Eddie Edwards won. Oh, one of the coolest spots was the Boston knee party into the chair that was covered in barbed wire. Um, he hit it, got the pin, one kick out. This was towards the end of the match, and then yeah, they went at it and whatnot, but in the end, Edwards won. Um, yeah, really good match. Definitely worth checking out. You should get the show if you haven't seen it already. Do get the show. It was really, really good. But now we get to the main event, which was Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus Rich Swann, Chris Sabin, and Moose. Because Alex Shelley couldn't compete. Um, Not entirely sure why. I haven't looked it up or anything. I was going to, but I forgot about it. Um, but yeah, he couldn't compete, so they got Moose to replace him. Um, and yeah, awesome match of the night for sure. Moose took a V trigger and then just grabbed Kenny Omega and went, "You thought that would hurt me," which was awesome. Um, yeah, Rich Swann almost picked up the win a few times. It was very much Omega versus Swann. Um, to see who was better. But yeah, in the end, yeah, ended up being Omega because of some Good Brothers distractions and whatnot. I believe they call themselves the Bullet Club. And yeah, no, it was just awesome match. What I thought was going to happen was maybe we get the Bucks show up because obviously they're the tag champs in AEW, so it wouldn't be anything out like it wouldn't be out there. This is very much a champions thing. Um, Obviously, and the addition of Moose also helped that because he's TNA World Champion. Um, so the other one in the match that didn't have a belt was Chris Sabin. But yeah, like the Bucks could have come out to help. I thought maybe we get the Switchblade show up. Maybe we can get Tamatonga and Tungaloa because obviously they're the champions in New Japan. They're IWGP Heavyweight champs. Um, but yeah, the Switchblade could have showed up. That would have been awesome to see Jay White. But yeah, I don't know. In the end, the trigger One Winged Angel on Rich Swann too. That was cool. And 1, 2, 3 Omega and the Good Brothers win. Yeah, overall, really, really good show. What matches sort of brought the show down from being, top shit? Um, yeah, none really, except maybe the Karate Man versus Ethan Page. That sort of was weird, and there wasn't too many spots that it could go on where it didn't interrupt the show. Like, obviously the Brian Myers Josh Alexander match was on the pre-show, so that technically doesn't count towards anything. It was just a good match anyway. You can't have that. Can't have the um, Ethan Page match kick the show off. Um, so we had the intergender match, which was it was good. Um, and yeah, sure, maybe that's a match that you kick the show off with. Yeah, actually, it would be. That would be a match to kick the show off with. It's not a show stealing match, but it's not, going to make everyone go, oh, if that's what this show is like, we're going to just turn it off. Then we follow that. I thought here after that you could put the Karate Man on, but no. They went with the old school rules match, and I sort of thought, well, here you could do it then, and then they didn't. Um, then you had the Knockouts Championship match, Tag Team Championship match, I should say. And after that, you could, and it won't disrupt the show too much, but yeah, I don't know. Then we had the Matt Cardona stuff. You can't put it on after that because you just had a super short match there. Then you had the X Division title match. You can't do it after that. You can't put that on there because that's just gonna ruin everything. Because you just had this awesome match following it with that. So then you got the Deonna Purrazzo match, and yeah, that I guess with it being short meant that it wasn't great, so you can follow it, and you couldn't follow the barbed wire massacre match with it because it's just two different like styles. That's like going, you know, hot to cold, cold to hot. So yeah, and well, you know, it can't go anywhere else really. Um, so yeah, now let's go through and give them star ratings. So the pre-show match, I'm gonna give 3 stars. The opener, I'll give 2.5. Then we'll go 3 stars for the old school rules match. 3.5 for the tag title match. Um, the Matt Cardona match is gonna get 1.5 because it was good, and the fight after when Fulton got involved and whatnot, that was decent as well, and we saw a Rough Rider, so that was cool. Um, so yeah, that sort of brings it up a bit, but it was nothing. So 1.5. 4 stars for the X Division title match. 3 stars for the Impact Knockouts title match. What do I give this? The Ethan Page match can get a 2 star. Um, the Barbed Wire Massacre match can get a 3.5, and the main event can get a 4 as well. So yeah, that was my thoughts and a review for Impact Hard to Kill. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, follow the Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Links to those are in the description. Let me know what you thought of the Hard to Kill show if you watched it. Let me know if you're going to watch it after watching my review of it. I think it's definitely worth watching. But other than that, goodbye and good night.